Good evening and welcome to the Build with Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit. It's right here. And to hang out with all of you, I'm throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe, and the Tier 2 Blue emote. If you're currently a subscriber, you can reply with those emotes. If you are not yet a subscriber, you can say hi or use other people's emotes or be a lurker if that's how you want to be. It's okay. Lashbrook is here. Hello, Lashbrook. Welcome, welcome. This is the intro portion of the stream where we're just hanging out. We're going to let people be fashionably late to the stream. And then we'll get into model kit building. Happy Thanksgiving is American Thanksgiving for everybody out there. I do clarify that because I am in America and I did celebrate American Thanksgiving. To a lot of people, it's just Thursday, including to some people here in America. It's just another day. It's a day where you didn't get mail. Bummer. I want to thank everybody for being here. I don't normally stream on Thanksgiving, but I decided I was going to. Mainly because I like to keep my schedule whenever possible. I like to keep on task. I like to have my Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday streams. And next weekend, I will be in Philadelphia for PAX Unplugged. And I have plans to do a Lego stream from my hotel room that Thursday. I'll arrive on Thursday. And I'm going to travel to the hotel, check in, test to make sure it works, then go get my badge, get some dinner, and then stream. And so keep an eye on my social media channels to find out if I'm actually going to be live or not. But I should be, unless the hotel Wi-Fi is balls, in which case I won't use it. But the hope is that it will be A+ and good. And I'll be able to stream. But I won't be streaming a week from this Saturday. So that is December, what day is it? 3rd. So December 3rd, I will not be streaming. And because I'm doing a tentative, hopeful stream, and a definitely not streaming next week, I decided I would stream tonight. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome, welcome. And hey, everybody that's here. If you got, if you're a subscriber, you can throw the emotes in the chat. If you're not a subscriber, that's cool too. You can just hang out. But yeah, the decision I made basically was, Ghost Valve's here. What's up, Ghost Valve? Was that because I can't stream next Saturday, I should stream tonight. I am full of Thanksgiving food, but I am still looking forward to working on the heavy arms here. We got one arm done. We got to build the other heavy arm, and then we just quit. No, we're going to build the whole thing. It would be very funny, though, if I built everything but the new parts and just had the regular kit again. But no, we'll build the whole dang thing. So yeah, we're working on the heavy arms tonight. We're going to talk about maybe a little more about PAX, some wrestling stuff, some video game news. I've got a rant in me about a couple. I got a mini rant and a bigger rant. So we'll get into that assuredly. And in the second hour, talking about anime. Because I watched 3 anime shows and I want to talk to you about them. I am going to go ahead and retweet my tweet, see if we can get a few more friends to join us, because it's always nice to have more friends. And then we'll get going. Speaking of anime, I'm going to start with my mini rant. It's a mini rant. Pat Baer's mini rant. So Crunchyroll announced that they announced like last month, like, hey, on American Thanksgiving, we're going to put up some movies. We've got licenses for some movies, and we're going to put some of their movies up. So you'll be able to watch some movies if you like anime movies. And the ones that were coming up today were Sword Art Online Progressive, which is the movie version of the events that happened before, like in between the setup of Sword Art Online and then the main burst of the story. There's like a lot of time that gets skipped to get to the good stuff, if you will. So this like focuses on the parts that weren't talked about, that were only referenced, and this like gets into it deep, which is interesting. And more importantly to me, your friend Pat, the Laid Back Camp movie. That's right. With a Crunchyroll subscription, you could just watch the Laid Back Camp movie. And I was like, hell yeah. I know what I'm doing on Thanksgiving before our family friends come over. Because we hosted Thanksgiving here in the house. And I was like, hell yeah. I'm going to watch that in the afternoon. That's going to be great. So I do some stuff. I get some work done. Check in. No movie. No announcement. No tweet about it. I'm like, okay, well, they'll get to it. They said they would come out, so it'll be out. I'll check in back. I'll check back in later. Check in a couple hours later. No good. Couple hours later, no good. Family friends arrive. Hang out with them. Have appetizers. Have the main meal. Talk. Have some dessert. Hang out. Come back in. All ready to go in here. Get set up for the stream. I'm like, okay. I have a couple hours before the stream starts. So now's the perfect time for me to watch the Laid Back Camp movie. Hell yeah. Still not there. It went up at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. So, it's a 2-hour movie. And I will tell you, my friends, I did not start it because I knew that if I started it, I would have to stop and that would be frustrating. So I have, as of right now, can't eat. I have to rate about not being able to watch an anime movie today. Yeah. So, I did not get to watch the Laid Back Camp movie. Now, will I watch it tomorrow? Yeah, tomorrow night it's going to... So tomorrow's weird for me, weird, quote unquote, in that I have a meeting on Zoom. So I got a Zoom meeting. I got to go to a Zoom meeting. And then I have... dropped some frames there. My apologies. And then I will be in the chat moderating for Jeff Gersman's stream. And then... AEW Rampage is on at 4 p.m. Eastern, so I gotta watch that. 4 p.m. Eastern. I'll watch that. And then there'll be a bunch of time where I won't have anything to do. And then at 8 o'clock Eastern, I'll watch SmackDown, WWE SmackDown. So in between Rampage and SmackDown, I'm gonna watch that movie. So I do know that I have time tomorrow to watch the fun movie that is set in the future, where everyone's a little older and doing their thing. So I'm going to watch that tomorrow. But I thought I was going to watch it on Thanksgiving, and it was going to be a cool Thanksgiving thing where I watched the Laid Back Camp movie. But they didn't make... I wish they had just said. Lasberg says there is about a 90% chance I forgot about Rampage. Yeah, I hear... that someone, it looks like someone, because it was obviously taped, not obviously, but it was taped on Wednesday. It looks like someone got hurt, but apparently they are okay. But it looked kind of dicey for someone, which was like, uh-oh, no spoilers. But I am gonna, I'm gonna watch it tomorrow. I watch with friends, so I should remember. It is a little tough because I do wonder if Jeff is usually done by 4 p.m. So hopefully I won't have to dip out of being a mod for his streams. I like being able to mod because it's nice. It's nice to be part of the community, help people out, and keep garbage out, mostly. Jeff's community is great. The Goo Crew are good people. I do not like that the name of Jeff's community is unfortunately, as right now, is called the Goo Crew. I do not enjoy that. I wish it was not called the Goo Crew because I don't like saying it. It's not a fun thing to say for me. But anyway, my hope is that the community will be very chill tomorrow. We won't have jerks coming in. Occasionally there are jerks, but most of the time we're good. We're golden most of the time. You know what I do like saying? Zabungle. I very much like saying the name Zabungle. You may remember that I worked on the Proteus type, the WM, the walking machine Proteus type from Zabungle. That was a glue kit that I did not know until we started was a glue kit, which was fine. It was an easy build. It was a glue kit that really needed paint, but we weren't going to paint it, so we just used panel lining. I bought another Zabungle kit. I bought the WM Zabungle from Zabungle. So I get to say Zabungle from Zabungle when that kit arrives and my $10 patrons hopefully vote that as the next thing I build. I will just be able to say, oh, hey, we got the Zabungle. Now, I don't know when I'm getting it because I bought it from USA Gundam Store yesterday. USA Gundam Store has a lot of stuff for sale. But it'll be a while before things ship out because they are probably expecting a lot of orders to come in. So I don't know when I'm getting the Zabungle kit in the mail, but I am prepared to not drop anything, but make it a priority that we build that Zabungle. Lord Crescent, I have not seen a solitary moment ever in my life of the anime Zabungle. But I have built one model kit I built the Prometheus from Zabungle, and I will be building another. I'll be building the Zabungle from Zabungle. I'm very excited to build that in the future. That showed up and it was on sale, and I was like, "Yup, I'm getting it. Getting me a Zabungle kit." Very happy to add that to my build, my backlog. I bought another thing too. I bought a. I did. I tweeted about it, so I can say that I did buy something else. I bought a Digimon kit, our second ever Digimon kit. It's not the amplified. There are amplified of the kit that I bought, but I just bought the regular version of Dukemon. So I got Dukemon. It's a knight. It's like a knight. The last one we built was also kind of like a warrior class. This looks like a knight. And it looks neat, and I am going to build it in the future. So I have not built a Bandai action figure model kit in a while, so I'm looking forward to that. And I've only built one Digimon kit before. Okay, so I said that I had a mini rant in me and a major rant in me. The mini rant was about how they waited till 8 p.m. Eastern to put up the movie that I wanted to watch. It is today, but I was like, that's annoying. So they didn't lie. They just chose a time that was not convenient for me to put it up. Here's my major rant. Why did they do people who want to watch CPU versus CPU matches? Why did they get done so dirty? And by that I mean me. Because I bought WWE 2K22 because it was on sale for $20. And I was never going to pay full price for that game, but I was very much willing to pay $20 for that game. I got it on Steam because there's sales. Check out Steam sales and other things. But there was a Steam sale. And I was like, you know what? We could get some content. I could get $20 worth of content out of that. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to buy this game because you may remember in the past I have done streams where I have downloaded some user-generated characters and then had them compete against one another, CPU versus CPU, in a Fire Pro game. And I got some wacky characters, and it was very silly, and I felt like, oh, this is a good time. So I've done that before. So I was like, you know what? I'll just do that again with WD 2K22, and that'll be cool. That'll be a silly time. So it's a pain in the fucking ass to do this. I knew that it was not as easy as go to like quick play and then make both like player 1 and player 2 CPU. I knew that it was harder than that, but I didn't know how annoying it was, and I'm going to tell you exactly. Vince hated VGCW. Yeah, I guess somebody hated it. Here's what you have to do. You got to go into My GM. You got to skip an audio thing by Stephanie McMahon about being the GM and how cool it is to be a GM. You've got to pick your GM and your show. You can pick some of their GMs. You can pick a random wrestler. The wrestler can't wrestle on the show. If you pick them, that's fine. Then you got to go into a custom draft. And you have to draft in all of your user-generated characters, be it characters you made yourself or characters that you've downloaded from the community. And then you have to make both like yourself and your opponent, because there's an opponent, so you can either play against the computer in a draft and hope they never pick any of your custom-generated characters, or you can set it as use a controller for player 1 and have player 2 be the keyboard, and then you have to pick the characters you want in your draft, and then have the other player 2 pick characters you don't care about. And guess what? Even if you say that all of these characters that you want to put in are draftable, they might not show up. So if there is a match that I want to book between two superstars that I really want to book, characters, there is no way to guarantee that everyone you picked in there. So for Tuesday's stream, because next Tuesday we're going to watch some of these matches, I'm going to have to, on Sunday, I've decided Sunday, I'm going to have to set up a bunch of these matches and hope and just fucking hope that I get everybody I need, and I might have to set up multiple. Because no, Lord Crashington, you can't do a quick match and not pick a side like you'd expect. No, you can't. If I wanted to be one of those wrestlers and do the wrestling myself, I could. But you can't pick a quick match and then set player 1 as CPU. You can set player 2 as CPU and play against the computer, but you can't set both sides as CPU. This is the only way to do that, is to do the My GM, draft everybody you need, and then set up matches. You got to set up matches, and also, once you set up a match, hey, welcome. Happy Thanksgiving. Thanks for being here. So we're talking about WWE 2K22, which I just purchased, and I didn't realize does a terrible job of trying. If you want to get CPU versus CPU, you got to jump through hoops. Okay, so then you pick the people that Happy Rantsgiving. Yes, indeed. It's the airing of grievances. We're just doing it a little early this year. We're airing our grievances. So I pick. So that way you pick the characters you want in your draft. You got to go back and forth. You got to do the whole thing. Let me just see. Okay, this goes up. Great. And then you set the matches up that you want, and then you set both of them to simulate. Is it simulate or spectate? Sorry, spectate. Simulate. You just it just tells you who won. Like if you don't want to watch the matches, you could just have it set up to just tell you who won it, which is fine. You can do that, sure. But I'll be setting up as spectate, which then makes it CPU versus CPU. It is a nightmare. Every thread, every YouTube video about it, every Reddit thread, and a discussion on Steam is people just going that I linked to, that I was searching for, is just people just going, why is it like this? Why can't you just do it the other way? What the fuck? So it's a nightmare. And luckily, I'll have some time to get it set up. So I was going to do the matches live, but I'm just so afraid the game would crash that instead I am going to just record them locally and then play them back. And then the whole point of these saying all this and how annoying and frustrating was just to say, oh, by the way, when I play these, I'm going to do live commentary to it. And I have found, here's the silver lining in all of this is the characters that I have found for the CPU. People made some weird and wild shit. Obviously, a lot of people made AEW wrestlers, right? But some video game personalities are in there. And by that, I mean Kojima is in there in a Death Stranding costume. So Kojima is going to be a wrestler in my game, which is very funny. But I found a lot of anime and video game themed stuff that I think turned out pretty good, and I'm excited to see that. So there will be some wrestling on the old Tuesday. The bonus stream will be me talking about wrestling like it's a thing that exists and is real, and we want to talk about it. And I think it'll be pretty fun. So that's Tuesday's stream. It's just very frustrating because you should just be able to go in a quick match, set both the CPU, pick who both are going to be from your customs, and then just go. Because why wouldn't they do it that way? Why would they do it this way where you have to set up a whole thing? Lord Crashington, I also hope that AEW does it right. That AEW does the CPU versus CPU because I want to simulate those matches as well because those can get wild. But yeah, looking forward to it. Also, the matches you put together, you have to have like a budget. It's a whole annoying thing because it's the whole GM mode. So we'll see. And there's some promos. Who knows? I mean, as far as I know, Evil Uno isn't even in the fucking video game. I believe Evil Uno is going to be DLC. So I don't know what pull Evil Uno is going to have to get anything done on that video game. Since apparently he can't get himself in the goddamn game. Rude. All right, we're gonna put that there. But he'll certainly be doing streams where he plays it and other things and trying to get out there. I imagine we'll see Evil Uno on doing like, or maybe he won't, but I could see him doing like a giant bomb thing to help promote the game. Could see that. Could see somebody reaching out for that kind of thing. Try to get that shit done. Working on the feet here because this kit does have feet, so we're gonna get some feet on there, some footsies, and then we'll panel on the feet, and then we'll keep moving on this kit. Other things to talk about. What we're talking about wrestling here. As I ranted about wrestling, we might as well keep talking about some wrestling. Lots of stuff coming out of AEW Dynamite last night. I'll talk about some of the smaller things and then some other stuff. A thing that has been, this is a rumor mill. This is not something that happened on Dynamite, so I'll start with that. Apparently, Scorpio Sky is healed up. Scorpio Sky, after dropping, basically, they sped up when he was going to drop the championship because he needed time to heal from injuries. I don't know if he had surgery or not, but he needed time to heal from injuries. He dropped the TNT title to Wardlow. And then apparently he's recovered and ready to go, but has not been used on television because they don't have anything for him right now. So that is a shame. They don't even have like come back on like dark elevation for him right now, which is a real goddamn shame because Scorpio Sky was having a good year up until his injury. And it is very surprising that they have nothing to do with him, for him. I mean, you know, he had a partnership with Ethan Page. You could have Scorpio Sky come back, be excited to work with Ethan Page, and then it turns out, nope, the firm doesn't want to work with him, and that, you know, makes him face. Like, there's some easy shit to do with Scorpio Sky. They just apparently aren't interested in doing that, which is a shame, because that guy is talented. Of course, this is, again, rumors. This is dirt sheet stuff, so who knows? Let's see. House of Black have returned. The House of Black are back, which is great. They look fantastic. Now, they went away because Malachi Black needed some personal time, and apparently Buddy also took some personal time as well. He basically took the time that they knew they weren't going to be on TV to also heal up a little bit, which is great. Brody King was just out with his band, and he was doing some indie dates here and there. But when they all came back, Brody King also looks fucking fantastic. He looked like the time off was good for him, too. They all looked awesome, and they ran roughshod on a bunch of people, which is great. We love to see that. Real spooky boys doing spooky things with their spooky friend, Julia, just being great. So that's good. I'm happy about that. A thing that is weird is, so, if you don't follow AEW, AEW has AEW has 3 women's championships. It's just that one doesn't ever get defended. They have the Ring of Honor championship because Ring of Honor is owned. Tony Khan is one of the people that owns AEW. Tony Khan flat out owns Ring of Honor. Hooray for time off. Indeed, Lord Crashington. So AEW itself proper has 2 women's championships. They have the AEW World Women's World Championship and the AEW TBS Championship, which is great. It's great they have 2 belts because then they have multiple feuds, and theoretically they would have feuds that don't involve the belt like the men do, but they don't really do that. So Thunder Rosa was the AEW Women's Champion. she was injured and needed to take time off. Apparently, according to Tony Khan and to Thunder Rosa, she wanted to give up the belt. She wanted to say, hey, I'm taking time off to heal up. Yeah, it's a back injury. I don't know how long I'm going to be out. Let me give this belt up. Let me forfeit the title. And Tony Khan was like, no, don't worry about it. We got an aid. We've done this interim before. We'll do it again. We'll have an interim champion. The person that you were probably going to drop the belt to, we'll just have them win. No big deal. We'll just do that. He didn't say that last part there, but that is the assumed thing. Now, Thunder Rosa has been out for months. And Tony Storm, who was the interim champion, lost the belt this previous Saturday to Jamie Hayter. And then on Wednesday, on Dynamite, it was announced that, hey, happy Thanksgiving to you, Just Another Spicy. It was announced that, I'll get to your question in a moment. It was announced that Jamie Hayter, who is the champion, is now the actual champion. She is no longer the interim champion because Thunder Rosa has forfeited her title. She'll probably be number one contender when she comes back, but she's forfeited the belt, which she wanted to do in the first place, and Tony should have let her do in the first place, but that didn't happen. Instead, it's just been this weird thing. And because she has forfeited it, Tony Khan made the call to say that Tony Storm's reign is not an interim champion reign. It will now be retroactively considered a world title reign, which I think is only fair, because she should have just been the world title champion anyway, and now she was retroactively, which is weird for her. This is a terrible situation where a lot of people have been speculating that Rosa wasn't hurt, that she was just taking time away and didn't want to give up her belt but wouldn't come back to defend it, and all this other weird shit that people speculated. It does no favors for Thunder Rosa, who is a great wrestler that I think is awesome. And also is a bummer for Tony Storm, who now you could say was the world champion, but wasn't when she held it. So the TNT title is definitely like the TV championship, or in the case of the United States Championship. It is a lower mid-card belt you work up towards. Ring of Honor has the TV title and the Pure Championship. That's kind of like their Intercontinental / European / USA Championship / TV title kind of thing. The TBS Championship is, in my opinion, the TBS Championship is more like the fact that Raw and SmackDown each have their own women's champion. To me, it's kind of more like that. Some people consider it the secondary belt. I consider it just another women's belt because they only have two. But I think you're not wrong to think that maybe it is a secondary title. But in my mind, it's pretty equal. Also because both of the champions defend their belt on each other's shows. So I think it's fine. That's my opinion on it. But yeah, the TNT title is definitely like the upper mid-card belt. People that are not in the conversation for the world title at any point, but like doing good work, figuring things out, coming up or coming down, that kind of thing. Yeah. Let's see. Let's get into the big news. All right, so I'm not going to relitigate all this shit of what happened with the Bucks and CM Punk, but I will say this. Being elite this week. So when the Bucks came out for Full Gear, the last week's pay-per-view, there was a "fuck CM Punk" chant in the crowd, welcoming them back and saying "fuck CM Punk." And footage of that was recorded for the Elite have a YouTube series. They had it before AEW existed, so they have a YouTube series. So part of the YouTube thing was them. I need one more of these. Part of the YouTube thing was them showing that footage, right? Like they just did that. That's fine. And people were like, "Come on! I mean, I know that you're the EVPs and he insulted you, but like, that's pretty childish." Me, it goes in my whole thing. Yes, it was very childish. But also, hey, Bobby Dice Roller to subscribe. That's 25 months. Thank you for the resub. We're going to hit the old applause. People can throw the emotes in the chat. Bobby Dice Roller says, hi, Pat. Hope you're having a good Thanksgiving. I am having a good Thanksgiving. I hope you had a good one. Thanks so much for your support. 25 months is a lot of months. That is over 2 years. And that's rad. But yeah, throw some emotes in there if you want. Say thank you for that. So people were like, oh, that's pretty childish of them. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty childish. But also, they're pretty childish in general. And there's, like, they're dicks as people, in my opinion. They're self-righteous pricks. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty in keeping with these dudes. So anyway, I'm having a Garfield Thanksgiving in that I cooked lasagna and hung out at home with my cats. Hell yeah. Hell fucking yeah, Bobby. So last night, AEW Dynamite was in Chicago. That's where CM Punk is from. So they were in Chicago. Since Full Gear, they're here in Chicago. And it's time like, hey, we've got a match. Now, theoretically, the Young Bucks, Kenny Omega, and Young Bucks and Kenny Omega, the Elite, should be the baby faces in whatever feud is happening. Because they're doing like a long, drawn-out series of matches with Death Triangle. Now, Pac is a heel, but there's like Fenix is a face, and Penta is like a tweener. Penta like wrestles like a heel, but is loved and is usually with the good guys these days. So it's that thing of like, okay, well, there should probably be the heels in the match. But it's Chicago, so they knew that some of the audience was going to boo them. So the Young Bucks... Oh, Lashbrook, I agree. And just another spicy, I agree with you. Young Bucks do rub me the wrong way. And also, I will take them over the Good Brothers any day of the week. Totally. No question. So, anyway, they're like... They knew that some of the crowd were going to like chant for CM Punk and hate them just because it's Chicago. So they decided, well, the thing to do is, let's just be dicks. Let's be heels. Let's play into the crowd. During a commercial break, they did a bot. They screwed up. They botched a move that CM Punk also botched when he fought Hangman Adam Page. So they botched it too on purpose. The buckshot lariat. So they botched that. There was a spot where Kenny gave Pac a GTS, which is CM Punk's finisher, and then also bit someone on the arm, which was, apparently, according to everybody, a steal. A manager or a producer and longtime friend of CM Punk bit in the course of a brawl, a real brawl, bit Kenny Omega. There's just like a bunch of shit, and to me, is it a little low class? Sure it is. But is that in playing with the fact that these are professional wrestlers? Yeah. Look, I think a lot of it had to do with the fact that it was in Chicago. I don't think they're going to do this shit every week. I think the next match, the audience will respond, but I don't think they're going to play it up. Hey, happy Thanksgiving to you, Muyabby. Welcome. I thought it was all in poor taste, but was completely done with it by the time of the bite. Yeah, so I do think it's in poor taste. But I do think that it was necessary because Chicago is going to give them shit. And if they're going to give them shit, you might as well play into that shit. Like it was not going to be an easy night for the Bucks anyway. So if the audience is going to like have a loud, annoying response to you, it might as well be for what you've done instead of what they perceive you did. So you might as well own it. And I do think that they owned their garbage. The garbage response they got, they like... It was, it was on their terms. And so I can appreciate that, even if I think it was, like, unnecessary to do in many instances. But I do think, like yeah, I get it. Thank you for actually saying who the heck Ace Steel is. The whole ordeal, first time I've ever heard of him. Okay, so Bobby, it makes sense, right? Like, I was not super into Ring of Honor when Ace Steel was around, but Ace Steel is a guy that he kind of came in with the Ring of Honor business for Tony Khan purchasing, but he is a long-time supporter and friend of CM Punk. So they were situating it as like, oh, this is the guy backstage that's like looking out for CM Punk. But then also, while they were doing that, it's true and real that they are tight. But yeah, I understand why you wouldn't know who he was if you weren't closely paying attention to one independent wrestling company a bunch of fucking years ago. Because the idea is that, like, when you reach retirement wrestling age, or you have to stop wrestling, or it didn't work out, or whatever, and you go into the business, we shouldn't hear from you again. Not that I think like people should fucking fuck off and go away, but that, like, with Ring of Honor, it's like, I only want to hear the name Pat Buck when Pat Buck is judging a pure wrestling championship fight, like under pure rules. That's the only time I want to hear the name Pat Buck, because I don't need to hear the name Pat Buck for other shit, because that's just like a dude doing stuff. I don't need to know what he's up to, what he thinks about things. I don't need to hear promos from him. The same thing with fucking Jeff Jarrett. AEW wants to hire Jeff Jarrett? Sure. Hire fucking Jeff Jarrett. Guy's got a lot of experience working backstage. Apparently, he was well-liked and did a good job for NXT when he was there briefly before he left. Sounds like, good acquisition there as they're trying to maybe get into using house shows and, like, doing non-televised stuff and building up the brands. And sure, maybe have him help make Rampage feel like more of a fucking thing. Great. Sounds good. He was on TV every week leading up to the pay-per-view, and I was like, this sucks, and I don't need to see Jeff Jarrett, but if it's just for a payday, and all right, I guess. And then he was there last night, and he was talking shit, and it's going to be something. It's going to be like Jay Lethal's crew, which includes Jeff Jarrett, versus the Acclaimed and Billy Gunn. And it's like, who the fuck wants that? I do not want that. I do not want to see more Jeff Jarrett. I would love for Jeff Jarrett to just work backstage and do his thing and not fucking wrestle or be on the microphone or threaten people with a fucking guitar. Because there is nothing less cool in wrestling in 2022 than hitting someone over the head with a guitar. El Kabong is the one of the... It's so dated, it actually hasn't even become retro again, because it already was retro. It was already a throwback when he was doing it in the 2000s. It was like, oh, Jeff Jarrett's still hitting people. Oh, that's kind of fun. That was that. It already had it. So it's already had its retro run, and now it's back around to being corny and old as shit. Yeah, Bobby, I mean, look, if you want to have a podcast because you're an older wrestler, like Kevin Nash wants to have a podcast, sure, have a fucking podcast. You want to work in the business, you want to be a promoter and open your own indie fund, federation, sure. You want to go and, like, work backstage and maybe make an appearance like, hey, a thing happened, and look, Fit Finley's back there to make sure that people stop fighting with one another. Fuck yeah, I forgot Fit Finley worked for AEW. Hell yeah. Or, wait, in the background of this backstage shot, is that Dean Malenko talking to people? Fuck yeah, Dean Malenko. But you know what I don't need? I don't need Dean Malenko having one more match. I don't need that. Needs to call everyone slapnuts. Yes. I did not know that Amazing Red was Zelina Vega's cousin. Weird. I saw Amazing Red wrestle when I was at House of Glory, Hog. Amazing Red was on the card, still doing his thing. But yeah, I did not know that that Zelina and Amazing Red were related. That's fun. Wrestling. Quick story, quick anecdote. Dean Malenko was on Twitter for a while. I don't know if he still is, but for a brief period, Dean Malenko was following me on Twitter and liked one of my tweets. And that is very funny because that tweet, I'm going to look it up. I want to tell you the exact tweet that at one point Dean Malenko liked. So I have to look this up. So give me a second because I got to, let's see. And then Dean. Let's see if I can find this Dean Malenko tweet. Let's see. Here it goes. If Dean Malenko was in his prime in 2019, he'd be wrestling for the NXT Championship, and his merch would say, Daddy Malenko. And at one point, that did have a like from Dean Malenko. It no longer has a like from Dean Malenko, but at one point it did. I have to imagine that Dean Malenko was just liking tweets that said Dean Malenko and didn't know what that meant. But yeah, if Dean Malenko was in his prime in 2019, he'd be wrestling for NXT Championship, and his merch would say Daddy Malenko. Because, oh boy. Hey, Harold, welcome. Wrench Tech says, hate the guy, but JJ always gets the bag. It's unreal. Can't believe he's been WWE, AEW, and other promotions this past year. Jeff Jarrett got a payday from WWE for being the guest referee in a tag match that for no real reason. Let me find a sticker here. 14. So he got a payout for refereeing a tag match. Then he got a payout for being in the main event of Ric Flair's last match. And then he's got a payout for working for AEW and being on a pay-per-view. So he got a wrestling payout from AEW for wrestling a match. It's unreal how that dude just keeps fucking working. And it's a nightmare and nonsense that he keeps getting the bag, as you put it. Jeff Jarrett gets paid. He definitely does, and it is always surprising. This sticker does not look great, but whatever. I got it on. We are almost done with his leg. We got to build the rocket, or we got to build, that part there. We got a sticker on, so that's good. That's my wrestling rant. Hey, let's talk about it. Let's talk about if anybody wants to share their Thanksgiving things. Now it's a great time to talk about Thanksgivings, and how you felt about it, how you're feeling about it. We had family friends over. We're very boring traditional Thanksgiving people here. We don't get wild. You got a big turkey that gets just roasted. No brine, no barbecuing, no spatchcocking, stuffed with stuffing, no dressing. Some dressing, because you always make more stuffing than you need. So some of it is dressing, but most of it is just stuffing. And then, big roasted turkey that tastes great, though, because we baste it and keep an eye on things. Mashed potatoes, gravy. We had some different kinds of vegetables. No casserole, just different kinds of vegetables. Mashed potatoes, sweet potatoes, cranberry, jellied cranberry, not the homemade. And then like a few other little things here and there. And we had our family friends over. My parents' closest friends here in South Carolina, which was very nice to have them over. And then it was just wine and hanging out. Obviously, I didn't drink any wine, but plenty of wine and people chatting and talking about some stuff. Nice thing is, politics did come up some, but we're all on the same page when it comes to that. So it was, it was mostly just feeling sad and ranting, and then we were mad about a thing, and then my mom's friend, or the family friend, was just like, "Did you watch the video of that dad?" And I was just like, "No, I didn't watch that video. I was furious. I just read the transcript." And she went, "I watched it. I wish I had." And we're just ranting and having catharsis as we're talking about people, and it was nice. It was nice. I'm gonna make after the stream. I'm gonna make a turkey sandwich. Now, some people do the. Oh, we had stuffing. Yes, we had said we had stuffing. Some people do the whole like put some cranberry sauce in there, put some stuffing on there, put some mashed potatoes. I'm not. I'll do an open faced turkey sandwich later. I'm just gonna use mayo and some fresh turkey, some dark and some white meat turkey, and like lettuce and like maybe American cheese or cheddar cheese. I'm just gonna do a fucking sandwich. I will do the whole Thanksgiving sandwich later, but right now I'm just gonna enjoy a regular old cool sandwich. Let me read what y'all wrote. Played Jackbox Party Pack 9 with my friends for the first time. My family for the first time, sorry. They really liked Nonsensory and Junktopia. I mean, Junktopia is the breakout game. In my opinion, Junktopia is a top tier game. I'm glad they liked it. Yeah, Nonsensory I think is fun. I think Nonsensory is really fun with a lot of people. So I'm glad that you played that with the family. I have no family, said Bobby, and I'm very socially exhausted right now, so I cooked lasagna and hung out with my cat. Garfield, Thanksgiving, indeed. Watched football, played a lot of Marvel Snap, and I bought a Steam Deck. Hell yeah. Enjoy that. Oh, sorry. Yeah, Steam Deck. Enjoy the Steam Deck. Hell yeah. Ghostfowl says reading the transcript was almost too much already. Indeed. Reading of that particular interview was very just rotten to the core. Community really helps people. Indeed. Indeed, you, Yabby. Community certainly helps. It is nice. Especially, I am in a very conservative state, and I am in a very conservative town in that conservative state. And a lot of liberal, like, New Englanders and New York and, like, Mid-Atlantic folks don't move to this town. But we have some close friends who are also very liberal. So it is nice to have them around. Let's see. Ghost Valve went to cousins' in-laws and had a lot of food from scratch sides like rolls, stuffing, and honey ham. Oh, honey ham. All right. I like hearing that. Is this E1 or is E2? No, this is D2. I need D2 4. Great. Okay. Later in day, we had dessert course, brunch this morning, and drove back. Hell yeah. Sounds great, Ghost Valve. That sounds fantastic. Lashbrook says mostly just Thursday for me. Definitely overdid on food. Couldn't get any turkey, so I had burnt ends instead. Burnt ends aren't bad, my friend. Yeah, we have to hunt for turkey, like a good big turkey around here. Because, like, it's around, but it's not, like, overflowing. Around Christmas time, too. Because I think this is, like, a ham state for Christmas. But we like turkey at Christmas, so I don't know. And then E2-1. Let's see. Hung out and ate a bunch, says Lord Crashington. Took leftovers home. Hell yeah. Bobby says, I do 99% of my gaming on the couch now, so I think a Steam Deck will be really fun. Hell yeah. And Ghost Valve says burnt ends. Yes. Burnt ends are fantastic. Yeah, I think you're going to get a lot out of that old Steam Deck. If you play a lot of games on the couch, that's a great place for it. Get a lot of cool stuff in there and have a good time. All right, so this has got to go here. Yeah, this goes here. We're building the side rockets for this here. There. Okay, that goes there. And that's going to go into D119. Which is this here. Great. All right, D118 and then D2. We are almost done with this goddamn leg. This leg feels like it took forever to build. We're almost done with it. We had apple pie. My homemade apple pie turned out great. Thought it was really going to collapse. Didn't really collapse, which is excellent. Always a good sign. And then there was also pumpkin pie, but I don't particularly enjoy pumpkin pie myself, so I did not have any of that. I just had some apple pie with some vanilla ice cream, and that was real good. And I am looking forward to... I just sat here afterwards. I just sat feeling like very... just full. I felt very fucking full, which is a good feeling. I don't mind feeling full when I've eaten well. So, it was good though. Bobby says, Pat, I haven't tuned in for a hot minute. Have you played any Marvel Snap at all? Yes, Bobby. Now I don't play every day, but I have gotten into it. It has hooked me in that I check in especially when I am riding my bike for exercise, because I have an adapter to make my bike stationary. It's a regular bicycle, but we make it stationary. And so I have been, when I'm on that, Marvel Snap is an easy game to play hands free like that. So I have definitely enjoyed doing that the whole thing on the bicycle. So yeah, I am into it. I am looking forward to the next expansion of Hearthstone, because I still play Hearthstone every day. That is my everyday game. But I am, and that new expansion is coming out real soon. I have not decided if I'm going to stream that or not. I don't think I am. I think I'm just going to keep playing Hearthstone on my own and let other people check that out if they want to check that out, but not through me, because I know some of y'all definitely don't want to watch that, and I understand. All right, let me get this panel lined here. But yeah, I've been playing Marvel Snap. We'll talk more about a little bit more gaming probably in the next hour. Let me do, let's see, we did that. Thanksgiving, W2K22 rant. Can talk about that in the next thing. Laid Back Camp movie, how it didn't come out till 8 p.m. All right, I got some quick news to talk about here. Let's see. So I have not played the game because I do not own a Switch. So I cannot tell you if it is a bad or good experience, but it seems like people are having a lot of problems in Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, and there are just like a lot of bugs, and it feels like a kind of a buggy mess, and people are a little bummed about that, certainly. But also, 10 million copies sold. When a game isn't great, it's always the next incarnation that suffers for it. The next release suffers for it. So it makes sense that like Arceus was like not like the best game, but people were like fine with it. And Sword and Shield, technically people were happy with it. It was just that some people were unhappy with the story. So maybe the next game won't be the highest global sales event they've had in the first 3 days since launch. And that just means it's the best selling game they've had outside of launch games. That's all that means. It just means it's selling really well for a system that's been out for a while, is all Nintendo's trying to say. Because people, I think, like, it's at a perfect time. It's at such a perfect time because people can buy it as a Christmas gift. So it's already selling for people that want it now, people who want an early Christmas gift, people that just want the next Pokemon game, people that are looking for a handheld game. Let's see. Umjan says that Muyabi made us a bunch of delicious lamb and pasta. Well, that's awesome, John. And it's also great for you, Muyabi. I'm glad you had lamb and pasta. Hell yeah. Those are not things that I would think about for Thanksgiving, but that's because, as I said, my family is pretty boring and traditional when it comes to Thanksgiving. We're pretty much like, hey, this is what we do. We're doing it. This is what you have on Thanksgiving, so let's not get crazy with it. Which, good and bad. I do wish that we would try out some other things now and again, but that's fine. Harold, I'm glad that you have not run into technical issues. It feels like a lot of people certainly have. And I hope that your game does not involve later technical issues, and it fucking keeps its cool. They don't seem to be game breaking, but they do seem to be like weird. Just like, I don't know. It is a Nintendo game that to some people lacks polish, and that feels wild to say out loud. That a Nintendo game lacks some polish. That is a wild thing. So I don't know. I hope that everyone has a good time with it. I like a good Pokemon game. Other news, quick hit news. Let's see. FTC might end up trying to stop Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard. We don't know. Sony's going hard on it. And you know that Sony knows a lot about consolidation leading to problems. Because, as you may be aware, they bought Funimation and then bought Crunchyroll, and then decided that they were doing away with free episodes, because it used to be that if a new seasonal anime came out and you wanted to watch it, that you couldn't watch it if without an account, without a paid account. You couldn't watch the first that episode. But the following week, you could watch it with ads, and it was ad supported. And then they were like, you know what we're going to get rid of is ad supported. Now, the old shows can still work, but this is new shows. So they were like, look, the old shit you can still do. Watch ads, and you want to watch like old episodes of Dragon Ball Super, no problem. But if you want to watch new episodes of our new anime, forget a week later, forget that. You got to subscribe. And so it was just like immediately it was like, oh, fuck off. I guess you were doing that to be competitive, and now that you don't have to be competitive, you just aren't going to do that shit, which sucks. So Sony knows all about that. A different branch of Sony, but certainly they're aware. But yeah, it does look like that's going to happen. Let's see. Hit the update here. And then, like, basically, a lot of people were like, nuh-uh. And some people were like, yeah, huh. They're like, people aren't even buying Call of Duty. What are you talking about? Or, of course we want to have Call of Duty on your platform. We want to make money. Look at what we do with Minecraft. Come on. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Maybe competition. Yes, I would say that perhaps competition is good for consumers. Gonna throw that out there. It's weird how invested people are in the drama, but I guess that's console war stuff. Yes, it is a lot of console war stuff. It is definitely like that, and I think that is a mistake. I think that you should not stan companies. You can have favorites. You can like the work that people do. You can appreciate that. You can be like, oh, well, this studio I think is neat, and they make stuff that I like, and that's fine. I don't have a problem with that. But when you're like, yeah, Sony, hell yeah, those are my dogs. That Sony standing up for the little guy, and it's like, no, they're not. They're not standing up for you. They're just doing what they gotta do. Real weird when people stand companies like that. What do you got? What are you telling me? Okay. It's very funny. Yeah, it's just weird to me. And then, quick hits here. We got some union efforts. Blizzard Testers Union. They can vote to form a union, but Activision is still being fucking dicks about it. They're just being all kinds of dips. Basically, like, Jesus, it's just like everybody's still talking shit. Like, we talked about it before, how like somebody from Activision high up said like, dude, like, oh, this is such a mistake, and oh, this is so bad, and all this other stuff. There's a new update. That Activision is now appealing. This was a little while ago. They're appealing the decision to try to stop the vote, basically. Basically, they're like, we're appealing this, and we want them to stop the vote until we go through the appeal. That is the latest that has come from there. And then, oh yeah, there's the statements that come in from people being like, hey, look, we think their basic thing is like, hey, we think unions are cool, but like, what if, but this one group shouldn't be able to unionize if everyone does it? And it's like, I know that's not what you actually mean, but you're right. Yes, every Activision Blizzard employee should unionize. You're right. Great. So do you honor that if they do? No? Weird. If you're not getting paid, stop giving so much of a shit. Yes, about like standing companies and stuff like that. Yeah, exactly. But speaking of unionization, Anemone Hug. Anemone Hug, the developer of Hard Space Shipbreaker, has joined the International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, which is the IATSE. So we've got a developer, the support studio. So this is not the official studio. This is the support studio that worked on Shipbreaker, Crossfire Legion, and Secret Ponchos. So this is not like the main studio. This is a Hug. Sports studio in Vancouver, and they are now they have formed a union. They have and they have joined officially, which fucking owns kick ass. And so this is a Canadian company, but we still think that fucking rules and kicks ass. And it is the second one, because Keyword Studio, which is working on Dragon Age, unionized first. But only some of that developer unionized, not the entire company. Let's see. And there are some other, there are a few companies here and there that have unionized. Like Vodio Games was like the first recognized North American union. So yeah, getting some unions out there. Ghostfell says, Blizz, if one group is a union, they all should be a union. Workers, okay. Blizz, no way. Yeah. But also, Blizzard understands that the effort to unionize everyone at Activision Blizzard is a fundamentally more difficult thing than all of the QA testers, right? It is a Herculean task to, we finished the leg, by the way, to get everyone to unionize. So that is kind of what they're pushing for, because they recognize that that is not an easy thing to do, and is easier said than done. So they're like, actually, like what we really should be doing is this, and this, and it's like, all right, you fuckers, we know what you're doing. We see you and we understand what you're doing. All right, so we did one leg. And then when we come back from the pause for the cause, we'll do the other leg. I'm just going to make sure everything's right with that. Yeah, everything's good. I do have to do a little more panel lining that I forgot to do on top of that foot. But we'll come back here in a moment or two and get into working on the other leg. Go to the right here. If you are currently a subscriber to the old Build with Baer Workshop, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego, the Scythe emote in the chat. Let the people know you are a subscriber. That is the easiest way to support what I do here through cash money. If you got $5 a month to be a tier 1 subscriber, that's all it takes to get cool emotes and to not see ads before the streams and to support me and this whole endeavor. So that is an easy way to support what I do. There are other ways to support what I do. Here, you could also use your Prime Gaming token. If you have Amazon Prime linked with your Twitch, you can use that. That is another way to support me here. You could gift a sub. Firestar Man and Lord Crashington and Aristofan all gifted subs this month, which is fantastic. If you want to join the gift sub leaderboard, you could do that. That would be rad. That is an easy way to support me there. Also, Bits and Coins. I want to check this. Yeah, we have had no cheers this month. So for the last couple days of November, if you want to be the top of the cheerleader board, the cheater board, you could do that, but you don't have to. But there are other ways to support me that don't involve, Twitch and having your credit card involved with Twitch. If you don't want to do that, I understand. Why not check out my Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. It used to be that this time of month would be a bad time to join. Hey, Bobby Dice Roller says, cheered 100 says, I'm king of the world. So we got to hit cha-ching. Thank you so much for that, Bobby. Really appreciate that. Yeah, you're top of the cheerleader board, which rules. Appreciate that. Thank you very much for that. But yeah, I have a Patreon at patreon.com/PatBear. There's a $1, $3, $5, and $10 tier. There are different rewards for the different tiers. Take a look-see if that's something you're interested in checking out. And yeah, it's rolling sign-ups there. So if you join today, you'll be charged 1 month after today. You won't be charged again on December 1st. They don't do it like that. You could join my YouTube at youtube.com/PatBear. There is subscribing is free. Becoming a member there is $2 a month. And if you join over on YouTube, you will receive Hey, Harold just cheered 101 bits, becoming the new king. Thank you, Harold. I hit the wrong button. Harold, I don't think you're in the toilet. This is the button. I'll hit it one more time because I feel bad. Oh. I feel bad. I hit the wrong button. Sorry, Harold. I did not mean to hit the toilet button for you. Flush the king, indeed. New king. Thank you, Harold. You get my Wednesday videos on Tuesday. So that's a little incentive to join my YouTube channel. And that's $2 a month, which is a good deal. Bobby just gave another 99 bits saying never give up, never surrender. Thank you so much for more bits. Where were you during the great bit war of 2022? Thank you very much for doing the bits. I appreciate it very much. So yeah, YouTube is another way to support me. Very fun for everybody there. Harold just cheered with another 100 bits saying, never going to give you up, never going to let you down. Cha-ching, the bits. All of the goddamn bits. Which is very, very kind of you. Thank you for that, friends. Where was I? Oh, yeah. One-time donations, because I just talked about a bunch of monthly ways to support me outside of bits. The monthly contributions, but there's one-time donations. Lord Crashington just donated 200 bits, joining the Bit Sub leaderboard. The bits came in, and we are now starting a hype train. We have a limited time hype train. If you want some emotes, if you want to gift a sub, become a subscriber, donate bits, we got a hype train going, which is fun. I'm going to try to get through this, but y'all keep stopping me. Anyway, there's a way to support me, and everything I make through direct donations. Harold says, okay, this is my final stand with 44 more bits. The bits. Thank you very much for the bits. Let's see. Where was it? Oh, everything I make through direct donations through... keep interrupting Pat's bits by giving him bits. Yeah, give me money and so I can't stop talking. Or I have to stop talking. Everything I make through direct donations, through Patreon, through Twitch, through YouTube, all goes into a fund and I buy model kits. I was able to pre-order this kit from Premium Bandai because this is not a kit sold in stores because it's the Heavyarms Custom, so it has extra nonsense attached to it. And I was able to do that thanks to your generous support. So thank you very much for that. John just donated 201 saying, I'm thankful for all the entertainment and community Pat brings us. Thank you so much, John. I appreciate that very much. Cha-ching. And then Bobby Dice Roller with 100 saying from downtown, he's on fire. Thank you, Bobby. And then Eric Fuhrer, my buddy Eric, just gifted 1 sub to the community. It's your first gift sub. Thank you so much. We'll hit the sub button there. Throw some emotes in the chat. Cranky couple, thank you very much. Eric, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Thank you for that. That is very kind of you. Thank you for all your generous support, friends. It's always nice to be on a hype train and to have gifted subs and have people around. Now, I just want to tell you, if you've ever thought about buying something from my Amazon wish list, if you want to jump the queue and have me build something in the future that you purchased and have it jump ahead of everything and make a YouTube video dedicated to the thing you purchased. Now's a great time to do that because there's stuff on sale. My wish list has things for sale on there, dropped in price. Some have Amazon free shipping, some have just regular shipping or free delivery, but it's not Prime. There's a Lego Christmas Penguin set that I would like to build in December. You could do that. That won't jump the queue because I don't want to build that in like December, early December. But I've got model kits, Lego sets. I just added a couple new Lego sets to the list here. I added the Gargantos Showdown, which is a Doctor Strange set that has a giant, big, weird thing, and also America Chavez, which is just fun. Or Chavez, I should say, America Chavez. So that's just fun. And then also a Mercedes Lego set, the Speed Champions double set, which looks neat. A bunch of model kits and some gear. As I said, some stuff is on sale, some stuff is not on sale. Right now, the better version of the Stream Deck, not the Steam Deck, the Stream Deck, because I have the 6-button one, the better 15-button one on there is on sale. Not that I'm saying you should spend $120 on me. But if you wanted a big ticket, it's nice to have a couple big ticket items. That's one of them. But yeah, I put a few new things up on the wish list that I would be happy to build. And again, jumps the queue, does all that stuff. Consider it if you're thinking about it. An alternative to that is Throne. Now, unfortunately, a bunch of model kits that used to be on my Throne wish list are not available anymore. But I still updated it with a few things. There's some gift cards in there. And I just like having an alternative to Amazon through Throne. So take a look at that, see if that's something that would interest you. And then you could always go to USA Gundam Store and buy a gift card at USA Gundam Store. You got to sign up and all that, but you get a gift card to USA Gundam Store. You get an email with that code, and then you can send that code to me. Just whisper me here on Twitch or send me a DM on Twitter while Twitter's still a thing. But yeah, you could do that. That's another way to support what I do here. If you want to support me for free, I have a Discord. I post build photos. People post stuff they're working on. People post stuff they just think I would like. That Discord is chill. There's a couple people in there that don't watch the streams much anymore, but they still hang out in the Discord, which is nice. A couple video links for you to check out. You should watch Pat Bear's Anime Club that I made this past Monday, where I answer the question, what's a V-scroll? And the answer, the real brief tease answer is, it is, the hype train is over. That is great. Thank you all so much. Enjoy your rewards for the hype train. That rules. Wow, we almost had 1,000 bits there. We had 945 bits. That's a lot of bits. So thank you very much for that, everybody. And a gift sub. That's very kind of all of you. What was I going to say? Oh, yeah. So, Pat Bear's Anime Club, I talk about V-scrolls, which are a type of manga that are meant to be read digitally and like vertically scrolled. And I get into why and all that. So I hope you check that out because I think that's a pretty good episode, a pretty good explainer. And then Do You Remembaer is the ongoing video series where every week I do some hasty research. I read a Wikipedia page and then turn the camera on and try to explain what I just read. And I'm talking about Brogan Rafferty, the hockey player. I can't make that clear enough. I'm talking about the Wikipedia page of Brogan Rafferty, the hockey player, and not another guy who was bad fucking news to say the least. I won't spoil it. You gotta watch the video to know about the other Brogan Rafferty and why I'm talking about this one and trying to make it very clear that I'm talking about that one. Because it's wild. Anyway, so that's Do You Remembaer? I think that was a pretty fun one. All right, I'm going to talk about some anime in a minute. We're going to get back to working on the other leg, and I'm going to drink some water because that's important. And we'll dramatically transition back to the overhead now. All right. Actually, real quick, just check notifications. Oh, I got some likes. That's fun. Okay. Fun. And there we go. Great. All right. Let's talk about some anime while I continue working on this model kit because we got another leg to do. Got one leg done. Got to do this other leg. Okay, so I need E17, E16. I did on the other there, so I'm going to do this one. Okay. 6 and 7. So as I work on this leg, which is basically the inverse of the other leg, let me just do this real quick. Yeah. That was great. Okay. Let's talk about Do It Yourself. Very cute episode of Do It Yourself here. So, as you may know, this is a show about some girls in the DIY club that are trying to attract more members, and they kind of did, but now they want to build like a fort / like secret base in the tree next to their shed, their work shed at school, and they need money to get materials for that. Now, they've been gifted a bunch of materials, but they need more, so they reach out to the dad, the parents of the girl who kind of runs the club, the oldest girl in the school, in the club, I should say, to basically like ask like, hey, could we sell stuff in your store? Could we make crafts and stuff? So they made some crafts. Now, unfortunately, Seraphoo, who's kind of our main character, who's like a lovable, like goof, like kind of scatterbrain, people did not buy her shit. They did not buy the crafts that she made. And so they're trying to like cheer her up. So Takumi is like, well, what if you took the lead on designing the treehouse that we're going to make? And, you know, we'll give you some ideas and you can encompass the ideas and we'll take it from there. Which is bold because Seraphoo is a dreamer and a goof. And so she does stay up real late working on it, and it is colorful and inventive. It's also fucking impossible. And they're all like, hey, I like this. Is that a rocket ship? And she's just like, I kind of got wild with it. Or she says something like that. And they're like, okay, well, what about this nonsense thing? And she's like, oh, yeah, I just kind of it got away from me. And she never apologizes, which I appreciate because she's just like, whatever. You asked me to do this, and so I did it. And then they're like, okay, well, we can't do that, but we can take ideas that you put in here and incorporate them. Like, this thing flies, but it does have a tire on it. We could put a tire swing on here, and we could have, like, some interconnected things, like, we can interconnect a few different things and do that. It's like, yeah, we could do some of the ideas that you've had, which is great, and that's all she really wanted. And it's very cute. All of it's cute. But then Jobco, who we know is actually named Queen Elizabeth VII or something. She's got a terrible long name that she doesn't like, so they call her Jobco. She's like, well, of course, I will work on taking all the ideas we came up here and making actual blueprints. So I'll of course do that. And she's staying next door with Miku, who is the best friend, but also incredibly tsundere. She's Seraphoo's best friend, but incredibly tsundere. So then, basically, Jobco's like, I don't know anything about making blueprints, and I don't have enough time to do. I would research it, but I don't know what I'm going to do. So Miko's like, I've worked on blueprints. You can't tell anyone that I'm helping you because she's, said that future technology like drones and stuff is cool as hell, and there's no point in working on silly stuff like DIY. Like, she's already said DIY is dumb, so she can't be like she can't be wrong, so she's got to be like all tsundere about it and be like, all right, fine, I guess I'll help you. Like, she definitely wants to help, so she does. So she works on it. And then Seraphoo invites the others to her house to show them what she's been working on. She's working on a project secretly. And that's the end of the episode. Very cute show. If you are not watching Do It Yourself, you need to do it yourself. Do it for yourself and watch this very cute and charming show. It is a Cute Girls Doing Things series with a lot of goddamn heart. And the art style is fun. It seems to be fairly inexpensive to make, but it is cool. And all the characters have a lot of charm and are fun. And only one of them is annoying, and she is in it the least of any of them. So that is great. And there's also the cat is named Cat, the dog is named Dog, and the pig, the potbelly pig, is named Pork. And that is, or Pork Chop. I think Pork Chop, I can't remember, but it's very funny. That pig is constantly worried about getting eaten. We won't, but it's constantly worried about it, and that is a weird thing in the middle of this already odd show to have that as a reoccurring gag. So yeah, let's do it yourself. I recommend it. I think it's great. Reincarnated as a Sword is the best isekai this season, but that is not saying a lot because there aren't that many good isekais this season. With Dog and Cat, every day is fun. Indeed. That with Dog and a Cat every day is fun. That was a good little short series. Delta just raided with a party of 7. Thank you so much, Raiders. Welcome. Delta says hello. Well, hello back. Yasmin, so nice to have you raid over here. Hi, Raiders. I'm going to do this very briefly, then we'll get back. We're talking about some anime, and I'm building a model kit. I'm Pat Baer. Hit the follow button if you haven't already, because maybe you came in on a previous raid or you're just hanging out. I build model kits, and then 3 days a week, 3 days a week I build model kits, and then 1 day a week I play video games or do a long segment where I talk about anime or we watch old wrestling. There's like a day where I do stuff that isn't model kit building. But the streams are very chill. I am confident when I tell you that my chat is full of incredibly nice people, nice and kind people. And I am grateful for that. But I have a great little community here, the members of the Bear Cave. And if you've never built model kits or you're an expert in it and you just want to hear somebody talk, and I read chat all the time as I'm building, but I also this is the second hour of the build, so I'm talking about some anime that I watched and kind of giving an overview of episodes because I watch a lot of anime and I am sometimes an evangelist for the stuff I watch. Now, sometimes I watch stuff and I'm like, ooh, actually, this show is not as good as I wish it was or as I thought it was originally, and then I will tell people that. And then sometimes I watch something and I was like, holy shit, this is really fun. Now, I like isekai. I like stories of reincarnation or teleporting to another world and being overpowered. And I enjoy the postmodern style of reincarnation, where sometimes people end up becoming physical objects or monsters or a vending machine or whatever. And in this case, we're talking about reincarnated as a sword. I dropped a few frames throughout. I apologize for that. Reincarnated as a Sword is a series about a dude that does not have much memory of his previous life, but knows that he did live, and he is now a sword that can talk through telepathy to his owner, Fran. She calls him Teacher. Fran is a member of the cat race, and she is best girl. She is the best. Look, obviously, in this year, there are some high quality anime best girls, right? You know, you can have your bad best girls in Chainsaw Man, your fun best girl in Anya Folger, and you can also have your just wants to do the right thing, wants to help people, wants to go on cool adventures and eat great food. And power up her cool sword by getting him things that he can absorb to get stronger. Fran, who is a best girl. She is a good girl, best girl. Anyway, so there is she's going to an area to do a quest. It turns out there are other people doing that for a rank up exam from the guild. And one of them is just like, hey, his name is Crad, and he's just like, hey, you obviously cheated, you did something, you tricked someone, or something happened for you as a solo person to level up or to rank up. So I challenge you to a duel. Duel me to prove that you're And it's just like, instantly whoops his ass. But she uses the back of the sword, so she doesn't hurt him. But she just whoops his ass real quick, and it's very fun. But then Amanda, who is coming along on this quest, and is the woman that Amanda is a character that is designed. It's every element of her is designed to be creepy, but she's not a creep. But you're I don't enjoy her as a character. And with having a voice and not just being a manga character, I'm even more I don't like this character. Anyway, they start to duel. It does not go well because Amanda has a lot of fighting experience, and it's a short little fight. Fran's defeated, but she does get a hit on Amanda. And also the fight was if Fran won, if Amanda won, then Fran would have to call her Mama, because that is what Fran wants, Amanda wants people to call her mother, because she's got a savior complex, I assume. And Fran does not want to do that, but because she lost, she still will. But then Amanda's like, you don't have to do that because obviously your family is precious to you, but it'd be nice if you liked me. Under falsehood, which is a skill that a teacher has, detects that Amanda's every promise of motherly affection is sincere. And she is, she's got the title Guardian of Children. So, Crad, who got his ass kicked, realizes that Fran is the real fucking deal that everyone's been saying, because of course she fucking is. And then it's like, yeah, dumbass, we could have told you that. We know, Fran rules. She's a good girl and great and strong as hell. And part of the reason she's very strong is the fact that her sword is a sentient sword that's super powerful. We know that. But also, she's got the skills to back it up. She's doing her goddamn best. All right, let's clean this up. We've been panel lining this leg, so we can clean that up. And then we can move on. Oh, yeah, the next day, everyone's like, we're entering this dungeon. It's time for a dungeon. And it's getting close to, like, some kind of momentum happening. Some kind of thing is going to happen because we're getting towards the end of the season. And you artificially need to have some sort of thing to build to. So I imagine things are going to heat up a little bit. Yeah, Amanda's an annoying character, but action was really solid in this. It is always fun to watch the main character, our overpowered main character, just whoop someone's ass who is just decided that character is weak for no good reason and then gets proven wrong instantaneously. It's just fun. That's fun shit. And then Doomsday with My Dog. If you haven't been watching this is over on High Dive, an ongoing series with very short episodes with little things happening about the post-apocalypse and the last human on Earth, who we just know as Master. We don't know her name. And Haru, the talking dog, who is a Shiba Inu. This is a cute show that I recommend. And this 2 episodes, we know that there are no absolutes. Like Haru wants to obey his master absolutely, always wants to obey in any instance, but there's one time where he doesn't want to, which is when it involves baths, because he doesn't like baths. So he's just like, see, there are no absolutes, because I don't want to do this. Bye, and just runs away, which is funny. So then we have a bunch of they used to be guard dogs. They all get conscripted to go and find Haru, which I think is very funny. And they're all really excited to have a boss to tell them what to do. So there's like, yeah, we'll do that. Which I think that was a funny little moment. And then, also this world, this post-apocalypse, there's aliens. A lot of aliens have settled on Earth because the humans are all gone except for one. And we find out the aliens aren't very different from you and I. They're all pretty similar to everybody else because one of them is a young one is on summer break, so he's trying to get his homework done. And then another alien has made a robot version of the dog Haru that looks identical, except it has like a robotic visor. It looks kind of like RoboCop's eye shield, which is a silly, fun choice that I really liked. There's just like, yep, that is just a thing. That is just a thing that this anime has. But the dog, the robot dog, is too similar to Haru. Is too personality similar in that it doesn't want to listen to anyone except for the master, which I thought was cute. And it probably won't sell well. And then there's a little short thing that I think is like a commentary on artists. It's manga artists that are aliens because there's only aliens left. And the idea is that they let's see, I'm gonna go find D1. No, D1 or D4. Do I have D4 in here? Yes, I do. They are like, we don't want to use digital art. We're old school manga artists because this is like so we want to do that. And then they're like, oh yeah, well we have a robot to help us, and that robot scans stuff and does all this digital art. But they still have to mail the art in, so it's not digital. And it's just like, I think it's that thing of like people who are like, oh yeah, I want to be pretentious and do this stuff. And it's like, yeah, but you still take shortcuts. You're still willing to take shortcuts. It was like, oh yeah, of course. And that was that. Still a very silly, fun series that I enjoy very much. I like being able to talk about that show. So that is, of course, Doomsday with My Dog. And that's it for anime that I wanted to talk about tonight. Let's see, what else do we have? Do we have anything else conversation-wise to talk about here? I have not messed at all with... hey, Lord Crashton wants me to hit the dance button. We only have a few more of these left, so sure. Here's the dance button. Thanks for using channel points. Thank you, Lord Crashton, for using those channel points. Now, you're saying to yourself, Pat, I feel like you said that you were going to try to stream on December 1st, which is a Thursday, when you're in Philadelphia. Will you have a dance song for us? And the answer is yes, I will have a dance song for y'all. I will attempt to have a dance song ready. Hopefully it'll work out. I will most likely... Last time I had it like looping on my computer... But because I'm going to try to do a model kit building stream instead of just having the webcam, I'm going to try to have the laptop webcam facing me and a regular webcam on a stand, like pointing down. So because I'm doing that, I don't want to also have like an app running, like music running on the computer. So it'll be on my phone, which is, I bet, is going to sound not the best. But I'll just have like a phone up against my, like at full volume up against my microphone, and we'll just do it like that. I haven't quite figured that out yet. That might not work out because then people would just hear my phone going off at 9 o'clock. So maybe I can't do that. Maybe I will have to just have like a tab with a lightweight music player. Maybe yes, I'll try to get a lightweight music player and do that because now I'm thinking about it. I don't want my phone going off. All right, we'll do that. Do that there. Okay. This is almost done. We'll clean that up. So I have not been... What I was trying to say here. We'll talk about some games. So if you've been playing anything, if you bought stuff on Steam sales or whatever, and you haven't talked about, you haven't played them yet, but you bought them on Steam, so you want to, tell me what you got, you can do that. If you've been playing any games, you can put that in chat. Let me know if you're watching anything on TV or movies, or you're watching stuff on streaming services. You can let me know what you're checking out, what media you're into, because I really do enjoy hearing from you. Lord Crashton grabbed Trombone Champ on Steam since it was on sale for $12. That's right. It's like $3 off. So that's a good deal. If you wanted to get that, you certainly could. And I think that would be a great choice. It would be to get Trombone Champ. As I said, I bought WWE 2K22. I'm having trouble with that. I played some Halo yesterday. We did not get into Forge. I think we are going to get into Forge and messing around in there because apparently somebody made like a Super Mario World or Super Mario 64 looking levels and stuff like that. So I think I am going to play around in that with some friends, but I haven't done that yet. But assume that your friend Pat is going to do that. I am going to get in on that in the near future. There are small little stickers that go on the sides of these legs. I'm not doing them because I think they look bad, so I'm not going to worry about that. Bobby Desroller says, I've been playing a lot of Marvel Snap. Hell yeah. I hate building decks, but I love gambling, predicting behavior, and adapting to an ever-changing environment, so I'm loving it. Yes, things move fast there. There is a lot to consider with that game because they keep adding new stuff and changing it around. Calamity Nolan says, I bought Bayonetta 1 for the 4th time, mainly playing Pokemon in my free time, though. Look, there's nothing wrong. I mean, there's a lot wrong with, but I'm not going to say that there's anything wrong with just constantly rebuying the same game over and over again because you like that same game. Like sometimes you just gotta. John says, I bought 428 Shibuya Scramble on sale. Currently playing Pokemon Scarlet and sitting down to build that 7-Eleven model kit. Yes, John on their honeymoon bought a lot of model kits, including a 7-Eleven model kit, because they do that. They sell kits sometimes at 7-Eleven. officially licensed kits, and which is very fun. Calamity speed runs Bayonetta. So yeah, you should have that on a bunch of different systems so that you can try for different runs. Hell yeah. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, just buy them because you want to buy them, but also, yeah, it makes total sense that you would want to have those on modern or newer platforms when it comes out for speedrun. And then Mew Yabby says, "We're doing it, meow." Hell yeah. Playing Pokemon since Ghost Valve a bit where I've had free time. May end up trying Dark Tide with crew. Oh yeah, Dark Tide. Yeah. That's out there doing its thing. I'm looking for like I'm not expecting. I'm gonna play a little. I bought it, so I'm gonna play a little bit of WWE 2K22, the non CPU versus CPU mode. But like, I don't know. I'm more interested in all the bells and whistles than I am just actually sitting down and playing it. So I will play some of it. This weekend, I have to shoot a bunch of video. As you know, Pat Bear's Anime Club comes out every other week. I just put up one on Monday, so you'd think that I wouldn't have to worry about Pat Bear's Anime Club this week. But I don't want to record it like in my hotel room during PAX. So I have to record the next one, which will come out the day I'm traveling back here to South Carolina. So I have to go and do that on my own ahead of time. So I'm doing that this weekend. And then I want to film next Monday. I'm going to film the next Do You Remembaer and the following one so that when I come back from Philadelphia, because I want to stream that Monday night, I just have to get some gear set up. I don't have to worry about filming a thing. Because I'm taking my overhead camera, this camera is coming with me because it's a real good camcorder to film my panel. And I'll have to get that reset up in here. But I don't have to take any other gear except that of stuff that I already own. So that's the only thing. I just have to put it back. So it won't be too bad to get my setup redone when the time comes. And I'm also getting back in the afternoon, early afternoon. I'm going to double check because I don't remember when I'm coming back on... where's that flight? American Airlines. So yeah, I have an afternoon flight there, which is fine, and then I have a morning flight. Yeah, I get back at noon, so obviously I won't. I have to come be picked up and get my luggage and then come here. But like, I will have plenty of time to do a stream. I'm guessing the full AEW roster is in that game's custom wrestler arm. Yes, Lord Crashing. Now, as Lastbrook says, because of when that game was made, like Keith Lee is just in there on his own. Like Kyle O'Reilly who still has a contract, is just in there. Like there are wrestlers who went to AEW but they're in the game because they were just in the game and they have the license to be in the game. So there are some wrestlers that are just in there, and then there are other wrestlers that are in the... Yes, I have Eddie Kingston. Eddie Kingston is my custom GM because I just think it's very funny, the idea that Eddie Kingston would be in charge of NXT UK just makes me laugh. I think it is just very funny to think about. It's like, yeah, I got Eddie Kingston. He runs NXT UK, Of course he does. Why wouldn't he? And he's fighting against William Regal, who manages regular NXT. That's my competition because I just think that is funny. All right, so we finished both legs. We got an arm and 2 legs done tonight, which is great. Now we'll get a little bit done. We're moving on to our new sheet because we have to do this. We have to do some of 9 on here, and then we have to do more of 9 on here. And I went ahead and marked it up so I know which I have to do. As you can see, the regular instructions show just with 1 barrel, because this is the original instructions with just added stuff on, which shows the double barrel. So we can't do the single barrel build that we have here. We've got to do step 9. We got to do some of step 9 and then stop and then move over to our sheet. So we're technically not doing this yet, but we're getting close to doing it.
You understand. You get it. You know what I'm talking about.
We'll get a little of this done. We're not going to get too much of it done because I am just like definitely feeling tired after eating a lot. Just eating a lot. Not just turkey, right? Not just turkey. Just like a lot in general. I'm just full of food. And so, we're going to hang out here for a little while, but we're not going to hang out like all night. We're not going long. We're not going to finish this kit. We still have guns to build. So, my $10 patrons should look forward to a poll tomorrow about what I build next, because there's nothing that has been bought off my wish list that is here. I don't think anything's going off my wish list. So, the next thing I'm going to build on stream will be something from my backlog, and I'm going to put a poll up of stuff to see what we end up building. And I don't know. I've been doing lately I've been doing hey, here's the oldest kit in my backlog. Here's the kit that's been in the backlog the longest. Here's the newest thing in my backlog. I think I'm just going to put in here's a list of 3 things that I really want to build. Because there's stuff in my backlog that's, look, I don't think anything in my backlog is bad, but there's stuff I like more than other things, right? The ale, the ale strike. That's a fine kit. I built a lot of strikes. I'll build another strike. I'm kind of whatever on that, right? But then there's the Dark Hound. The Dark Hound looks fucking cool. It's it's not a death scythe, but it's in the category of death scythe and the Blitz and the Raider. It's just a cool looking, the Crossbone Gundam. It's just a cool looking Gundam that I would like to build, or mobile suit I'd like to build. So that'll probably be on the list. There's at least one kit from one kit from Iron Blooded Orphans, the video game, the mobile game that I have, that I'm I'd like to build that at some point. So I think my next thing is just going to be stuff I'd really like to just build, please, and see if that gets a win, if that gets purchased. Not purchased, sorry. What am I saying? See if that gets picked as the thing that I will build next. That's what I was trying to say. Sorry. My words are a little off here. All right, B12, B14. Okay. But yeah, I mean, I don't have a ton of stuff in my backlog. I've got a few things. I'll be honest with you, folks. I got a few things in that backlog. I'm doing pretty good. Also, we are almost at the point where I will get at least one, if not several, gift cards for Amazon. So I will be able to buy some big ticket items. A lot of my stuff in my Amazon wish list is not big old expensive stuff. So I usually buy one expensive kit, and I'll put a poll on Twitter and let people vote on what I should build. And then I'll make sure that it's up long enough that at least one stream happens where I can link to it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'll end up buying, but I got the wish list, and I got stuff on the wish list that I might end up picking up. The Gundam Seed Mobile Jin is $60. $60 out of a wish list instead of me spending $60. That sounds about right. That's, so that might be something I get, that kind of thing, where it's that costs some money, but I can see myself picking it up because it looks cool. I don't know. I'm just kind of spitballing on some of these things. There are some things that I'm this is a thing that I will definitely spend a ton of money on my own, if it's a gift card form, that I wouldn't normally put all that money in a mobile suit, even if it is a master grade, which takes a little while to build, that kind of thing. I don't know. Yeah, that's just kind of my feeling on that, where it's sometimes it's totally worth spending the money if it is a gift card from family. I'm totally willing to invest that in the streams. Or when I get a payout from AdSense, Google AdSense. Google AdSense comes from ads running on my streams, or not my streams, on my videos, and I have some of those. I have some of those videos that do well occasionally. Every once in a while, I will get enough money that they give a payout. It's got $100, so it takes a while to get there. I'm checking it right now as I do this. Yeah, right now I'm at $62. So I'm not making that at the end of this year. But sometime next year, I will earn $100 on AdSense and also my memberships. And when I hit $100, they'll give me a payout, and then I will be able to buy something cool to build on stream. Speaking of streams, we're going to wrap things up there. We are going to raid. That is how we end every stream around here. I want to thank everybody for spending some time with me here with the old Bill with Baer Workshop. We are going to find someone cool in the community. If you came in from the raid, thank you very much for doing that. If you would like to continue the good word and hang out with somebody and hang out in their chat, please do. Please hang out as we go find someone doing cool stuff. Thank you. You have a good one too. But we're gonna find someone awesome, and maybe just maybe you'll find somebody that you want to give a follow to and hang out with because you've suddenly found someone doing cool shit. We are gonna go hang out with Xandra, our good friend Xandra. Xandra made all of my emotes. Every emote, all 4 emotes that I have, as MJ says, we always end with a raid. Xandra made every single emote that you see, and she is a lovely person. She is playing Potionomics with her girlfriends. I believe, yes, her girlfriends are hanging out in chat, which is lovely because they're dolls. So we are going to go hang out there. So please feel free to come along on this raid. Reminder, on Saturday, I'm finishing the Heavy Arms and starting a new kit. I don't know what that new kit is yet, but I'm going to start a new kit and also finish off the Heavy Arms because we have to finish the waist, and then we got to build the guns. We got to build those big guns and the backpack. So feel free to come along this raid. I'll see you in the next stream. Thanks everyone for being here. I hope you have a great night. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, 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 goodbye. Happy Thanksgiving.